टेबल के ऊपर कुछ है बे, टॉप ऑफ द टेबल है ना.
Oh.
एनीवे,
देख रहा ना, ज्यादा टाइम टिकेगा नहीं है तेरा आरसीबी।
वेलकम बैक गाइस. और वरुण, हाउ वाज द हॉलीडे?
औसम, मजा आ गया भाई। गुड ब्रेक, गुड ब्रेक। आईपीएल नहीं देखने जैसे था लास्ट वीक। बहुत
Few
अच्छा लगा नहीं
players
देख।
and teams also need a break.
यस।
Anyway, been a good week. Uh, Not for few teams, but overall been a good week. But I thought थोड़ा monotonous हो रहा था 2 हफ्ता. We will revisit a few games, probably touch upon a few games and a few players and teams. But as we were talking, I was thinking let's do a special feature episode today that we've been talking about of captains of the IPL. It's been a good mix of you know captains, and I think this is the first year in the IPL, if I'm not wrong, where because of Pat Cummins' this injury and unavailability, it's an all-Indian lineup for captains. So I thought let's do a feature episode because a lot of how the team is structured and the team is performing and how the culture is and how they are playing depends on the captain. So it would be an interesting episode to cover, understand your inputs on various captains, right? So this is the agenda for today. Varun, Ganesh, anyone you would want to kick us off with
Yes,
any captain, any team?
let's start up from the top of the table. And to disappoint you, RCB is not on
Is
top of
not.
the table.
I know that.
It's
I know that.
Punjab.
I know that.
Yes. So let's start with Shreyas Iyer there. Shreyas Iyer, it's a, you can say, a swan song, what of sorts. Like he's up, down, always in the reckoning, but not there in the national team. So again, once more, he's back with a point to prove for himself, and he's doing quite well, right? He's striking the ball well, and he was unfortunate. He had a fantastic year the last year. Unfortunately, got a spleen injury. Was selected for the India New Zealand 5 T20s, but was out again. He didn't get a game, was out of the reckoning for the T20 World Cup, and is back again to prove a point. And he's doing it well till now. Again, he has a very young squad, but the combination of Ricky Ponting and Shreyas Iyer has, like, in the last year, it was a tested combination and it did work well for them. So they're back again. Let's see how they go.
Ganu, your
Okay.
initial thoughts about Ayer?
Yeah, so I feel like he is now a confident person. I guess he's in early 30s, like 31-year-old, right? So he has seen his ups and downs in terms of like how the career goes and everything. He has most likely given up on the test, right? So in terms of his captaincy, like he looks a very confident person who is just not leading by example, like, but also like showing them how to go about it, because it's just not about like being saying words, he's scoring runs as well. Okay, so and you can also see, right, like how he has evolved as a person. Like he used to have like a short ball issue. Now he has sorted it out. Like now you can't bounce him out at this point of time. So you can clearly see, I think he's a lot more relaxed. He knows that he might not go like to an international team like Indian team and score like 10,000 runs. Probably that might be possible, but like looks very odd. So he has made a peace with himself, like whatever the opportunities, which he's earning a good amount of money in IPL as well. So I think he is at calm with himself. So that is reflecting in his captaincy as well. So that's what I feel. Like he's a lot more calm and he's leading by example.
Yeah, I tend to agree, right? I think Shreyas also is sort of a personality where he's very passionate. He has a lot of ambition, right? The best in it comes out when you are able to channelize his passion and his ambition. So I think Ponting sort of identified that very early in Shreyas's career when they were with DC, and was able to, because Ponting himself is that sort of a personality, right? So when he got to groom such a personality, you saw the wonders that they did with DC. Um, and then somehow he went to KKR again with Gambhir being there. Again, Gambhir is someone who's very passionate, very ambitious. So he was able to mold Shreyas well. but it's a very controversial thing. I just saw a meme on Instagram earlier today where they were saying that, probably one of the most stupidest thing in world sport was KKR letting go of a title winning captain. We don't know what happened in the background, but then obviously someone's loss is someone else's gain. So Punjab was able to, get him. Punjab was looking for a captain, so Punjab was able to get him. And I think a large part of that was got to do with Pointing, insisting that he wants to work with Shreyas again. And, the way that they formed that entire. Imagine to have the conviction of Pointing to not only pick Shreyas as the captain, but also to place reliance on that untested, uncapped Indian batting lineup. Um, you know, Ponting already had probably the story and narration in mind when he went about in that mega auction 2 years back, right? And yeah, Shreyas, as you guys are saying, looks very secure, knows that he does not need to demand a place in the national setup or anything. One thing that I liked about him is he got himself injured in Australia going for a catch, right? But still, that doesn't stop him from putting his body out there in the line with half chances, with quarter chances, with chances that do not even exist, with the kind of catch he took in yesterday's game as well, right? So that speaks about a lot about his character. And, Varun, as you spoke about him working on his weaknesses, so the short ball and everything, looks like a very complete player, looks like a very inspirational captain, has the respect of his, teammates in the dressing room. He's someone who has a vision. Um, whether or not he deserves an immediate spot in the Indian team or something, I don't want to discuss about it, right? But him as a captain is something that I think he has a lot to give to Punjab, to IPL, and to Indian cricket, is what I would feel. Um,
That's
Just
a
one
yeah, it's a good way to
that's
summarize it.
yeah, just one interesting point. It would be fun to see like if Punjab is able to retain him, because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of franchisees like probably after next year who would need captain. And it would be interesting to see how Shreyas Iyer goes about it. Like, I know Ponting
Agree.
and like Mumbai, I think Mumbai also needs a captain going ahead.
I just read
So
an
it would,
article, interesting article, where they say that Mumbai will go all out for him with the problem. We'll
yeah,
come to that
yeah,
when we're covering
yeah,
we'll
the
come
we'll
to
do it.
that.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
No, but I don't think, sorry, just to close out on that point, I don't think money. So, yeah, there were a lot of rumors with what happened with Shreyas and KKR. I don't think money uh, could have been the only reason why Shreyas did not decide to stay, or whatever happened, right? But
Yeah,
even if that would have been the case, I think Shreyas is much more secure, mature person right now. I think if that setup is retained for Punjab, I don't see any reason why he will want to move out. He's also, uh, starting to be a brand, right? Sarpanch Saab is now a brand, right? Which has gone beyond the fan base of Punjab, right? So, characters like this, I'm sure when they continue to get that validation, that respect, and that backing of that franchise and everything, I don't see any reason why he's there to build a brand for himself and for the team, right? So I think there is a long-standing relationship that we can see as long as Pointing is also there. But Shreyas is probably one of the best captaincy materials going around in the world cricket ecosystem right now.
interesting.
Mm.
And one more point to add is the quality of players that he's carrying with him. All of them, as KK rightly put it, they are uncapped players, right?
Yeah.
Many of them are uncapped players, so it's not very easy to do that. And he's out there to
Yeah,
prove a point. So, and he's doing it consistently. He's doing it well. So it's very exciting to see Punjab do well as well. Like you feel like they are not very strong on paper, if you put it. Like they are not a proven team, but when they do well, it's good for cricket in general when such
yeah,
teams are
Correct.
performing well.
absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. Can we move on?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the team that is right on the bottom. What do you say? What do you guys say? KKR.
Yeah, yeah, we can do. We can shuffle it up. Yeah.
Okay. Varun, you want to start or should I go ahead?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So Ajinkya Rahane, what do we say about him? Like he does command a lot of respect, especially what he has done for India and everything. And he is a good captain, right? You can't just look at his recent results, especially this season, the last season. He is a good captain. Don't know about like T20, but in terms of like overall captaincy, like brain, he does have it. He has shown it in for when he led India as well, when he led Mumbai as well, right? Like in the Ranji and everything. But unfortunately, I see that even the last year's KKR team was not up to the mark. Even this year, they tried to fill up a lot of holes, but again, a lot of injuries, and that kind of is seen in his captaincy because I don't think he's not putting his brain or he's making wrong decision. He's just crumpled up with whatever the just a second. Yeah, whatever the situation is, like he doesn't have that resources who can step up. So I feel sad for him. But yeah, so that is my view. He's not a bad captain per se. It's just that is the situation is not allowing him to be look as a better captain.
Varun?
So somehow I think before the season started itself, KKR had given up. Like Ajinkya Rahane, no doubt he's a very incredible player. His captaincy was never in question. He has captained the test team pretty well as well for India, like you mentioned, Mumbai. But somewhere KKR, they are missing their balance. And some statements also put the morale of the team down, right? Like post the first match, Ajinkya Rahane was asked the question why Cameron Green is not bowling. So
Hmm.
the answer could have been something different rather than saying you need to ask the Australian cricket board about it. Like you are the captain of the team, why your player is not bowling is something you need to have an answer to. So somewhere I think there are some management issues certainly plugging them. So Ajinkya Rahane in general is doing what he's doing. Like he's not changed he's not changed or he's not doing something different from what he has done over his like long career. So I think KKR have more issues on the table which they need to address. And
Yeah.
Ajinkya Ran, things will fall in place. Like his captaincy, I don't think he can change the team's destiny with the way he's captaining. There are
Yeah.
larger issues to the team right now.
Yeah, see, Ajinkya's T20 career was reinvigorated with that CSK season that he had 3 seasons back, right? 3 or 4 seasons
Yeah.
back, right?
Yeah.
So that speaks about the metal and the quality of the player that he is. I mean, he is that uh, classic test and one day sort of a player, technically proper, sound, very reliable, consistent. But given how T20 has evolved, he's gone back. We never know the work that he's done behind the curtains has been so good for him to be able to adapt and play the role that he played in CSK, right? That's what reinvigorated him into that T20 circuit. So no doubt
Mm.
about the credentials of the player and the adaptability of the character. But I think I have a certainly, a little different opinion. There are two ways to look at this. Riddled with injuries, and it's become a season of what ifs for them, right? So what if all their players had been available? How would that team, how would that team have structured? Still, I mean, with Harshit Rana, the issue that happened with Mustafizur and all of that, had they still been there, I'm not saying they would have looked as the best team on paper, but it is a case of what if for him and for the team overall. But having said that, right, a captain also needs to, like, you need to have conviction that this is my team. If you're giving me the reins of this team, I should have the say in how that team is going to be structured, what kind of players are going to come in, what is the sort of strategy, the playbook that we are going to adopt, and all of that. So I think, given that, when he stepped into the role of the captain, they were defending champions. KKR let go of Iyer, but they were still the defending champions. So I think Ajinkya could have gotten more involved in the whole auction and strategy process, maybe because of the experience that he carries along, and he should have said that I have more say. I need this kind of players. Maybe the retention around not wanting to retain Phil Salt and all those guys also. I don't know. Like, I don't think Ajinkya had a say. You can say that it was probably a management call, but as a captain, or I don't know whether he was communicated that he will be leading the team. I could be wrong over here if if KKR decided that Ajinkya would have been the captain after the auction, then obviously Ajinkya
Yeah,
does
it
not
was
have a
that.
say in
Yeah,
the auction process, right? But
it
then
was that. Yeah,
uh, exactly. Then in that case, it's more of a what if kind of a scenario. Poor guy is clueless. But yeah, I mean, as Varun said, right? You, you can only do so much when the environment is offering you so much. So it's unfortunate, but I don't think there's anything much more that can be done. What is the life that he has as a captain? Will KKR retain him for another year and start afresh in the mega auction? uh KKR also don't have much options, right? So he's trying his best, but it's unfortunate. Is all I would say.
And just to close, like I would say, like I'm glad you brought up Ajinkya Rahane, the batsman. Like leave aside the captain, but Ajinkya Rahane, he started off in T20 cricket in England. If you remember the way he
yeah.
used to play,
That's Vicks.
yeah, he was an attacking player. He played fast, like pace pitches very well. The problem here is if it's pace pitches in India are a rarity. Like you don't get good pacey pitches in India. It's either on the slower side or cement wicket, like you can say. But the first 6 overs is where he's capitalizing the most. Post that six, he's not that effective. So, like, he's very technically pleasing to the eye. His batting is pleasing to the eye. But you can't depend in this format too much on Ajinkya Rahane leading from the front. So, somewhere
Yeah.
I would also question his position. He is most useful in the first 6 overs, or should he come down and play more of an anchor role at 3 or 4? But yeah, like as we said, he's on the like twilight stage of his career right now, and like he should move to a more of a mentorship role, according to me, rather than playing the way he is.
Yeah.
Like, I mostly think it will be his last season, and probably KKR will try out Rinku probably next season and see how they want to go about in the mega auction, because I don't see they have any captaincy person like growing up in their system, right? So probably they will try out Rinku and probably next year and see how it goes, because even Rinku is struggling this year.
Yeah, that's what.
But yeah, but with respect to like Ajinkya Rane, I feel it's really unfortunate how his probably the last few years of his careers are going. But yeah, he does struggle like to play the spinners and everything. So that is a big problem. Like KKR at this point, I don't think after their like winning season, they have got the team right and everything. So it's unfortunate to see that such a big team not doing pretty well.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah,
Where do
let's
you
move on
go
to
next?
let's go to the top again. Second team, like we can shuffle right way that way.
Yeah,
Rajat Patidar,
RCB. Yeah,
RCB, Rajat Patidar. What do you guys
yeah.
think? KK, I think
So
it's the floor should be open to you because you will be more passionate about it.
Yeah, no. So the moment the season with Faf got over, Faf was giving us those. Faf and Virat's partnership was very stable. They were giving us those consistent starts, but not as rapid, but still consistent starts. And Faf was a gun fielder and all of that. But because again, when that cycle ended and we were heading into the mega auction, it was pretty much clear that with Virat opening and Virat being an indispensable part of the team, Fab does not find a place in the team, right? Given that they wanted to change the way they play and all of that. So it was an obvious call that the management, it was very tough on the fans emotionally because Fab did have a very, emotion. There was an emotional connect with Fab, right? So, but it was very obvious that Fab will not be retained, right? Once that call was made, you obviously had only two choices. One, go back to Virat as the captain, or go shop for a captain in the auction, right? So, uh, I mean, as much as a Virat fan that I am, I knew that it wasn't in the right direction, and I'm sure Virat also would have not wanted to take over the mantle because that would mean that the team is regressing in the approach. You needed a future forward-looking approach, right? So, and I was talking to our own Sumed GB about this, our fellow RCB fan. I would like to have him on the podcast someday. And I told him, see, Rajat is the most obvious choice. I'm sure and he makes for a very good captain and all of that, right? So the day they announced him as the captain, they did that whole RCB unbox thing and all of that. Um, and he's been brilliant, right? And again, it's not only because he stepped into RCB and you have Virat, Andy Flower, Dinesh Karthik, Mo Babat, and all of that, but he's proved captaincy credentials in his domestic Syed Mushtaq Ali and all of that as well, right? So Andy, Mo, and Dinesh, they went and scouted. They looked at how Rajat was doing, and then they took Virat's input as well, and all of that. Again, Rajat is a very uh, calm, quiet character. Something that doesn't suit RCB as a culture and standard. But he's proving what it takes to be a good captain. Again, leading from somewhat like a Shreyas Iyer sort of a player, but a very opposite personality, polar opposite personality to Shreyas. But leading from the front, setting that culture, and man of few words, but a lot of action. But I would say he is ably supported by that support staff, Kohli, Bhuvi, Krunal, Hazelwood kind of characters in the team. It makes his job easier. I would have wanted to see would Rajat have been that effective had he picked up a squad like Punjab, youngsters, grooming them. It's very interesting. And maybe you would see that in the following mega auction because a lot of these players, Bhuvi, Hazelwood, probably even Kohli, you need to relook at that strategy. You'll bring in more uncapped players or youngsters in the next cycle. Rajat is obviously there to stay as the captain, but how would he go about in grooming a team rather than inheriting a team of experienced players, core leadership group, and youngsters, right? But he's been exceptional as a player and as a captain. I'm so happy to see that as a fan. Makes a call for whether Rajat and Shreyas deserve a call in the Indian setup. I'm not going to touch upon that. But yeah, as an IPL captain, what he's done for the franchise, the way he's setting the team up for the future, and the way he's also going about as a player, I'm very excited as a fan and as a cricket enthusiast to see how RCB will go with Rajat Patidar for the next 5, 6 years.
Okay, what about you, Varun? What do you think?
So I think RCB would like to believe whatever Rajat Patil is right now touching is turning to gold, right? 18-year drought, they win the IPL once he's captain. And post that, I think he was the captain of the Central Zone in the Duleep Trophy. They also won under his leadership, the Duleep Trophy as well. But Rajat kept like again this year also he started off very well. But if you look at a pattern, even in the previous year, I'm talking purely on his batting. In the first 6 matches, I think he played very well at a good strike rate, and then towards the latter half of the tournament, he slightly fizzled out in last year's IPL as well. So even this year, he started off very well, playing at a very good strike rate, and let's see how it goes from here on. He needs to continue this momentum to like cement his stature per se as a captain player, leading from the front with his batting because he is a batsman. Forte, like coming to the point that getting a national call up, he needs to really perform, make his bat tough. Winning a title is a different story, but coming to the Indian team, you need a batsman to live up to the mark. I think the stat was something like he's played at a strike rate of 150, 160 in the first 6 matches in the last year. And in the next 6 matches, he scored less than 100 runs at a strike rate of 90 or 80. So
But like,
this
I
year,
don't think, sorry to cut you, but like his batting, I think he's playing according to situation. But like more about on his captaincy, like I think he's doing well. Like I know he might not be able to come to the Indian team because there's no space, to be honest.
right.
But like,
Just purely from
uh,
Indian team, I'm saying that way. But
okay,
as an RCB captain, whatever he's touching is turning to gold. He has the
yeah.
team backing him. He has all the right setup, like KK mentioned, Kohli, Bhuvi. There is no ego battles that's being played. Like more senior players are playing with him, supporting him. So he has all things going in favor for him there. And it's been an incredible journey for him, like nothing missing. Who knew Rajat Patidar before last year? I didn't, for certain. Certainly, I was not following Rajat Patidar's career. Like he came into the reckoning last year as RCB captain, and what a platform it's been for him. Just from that aspect. So it's again like that story, right? From zero to even we knew Shreyas Iyer. I think they are of the similar same time
Age,
that
yeah.
Is it, yeah,
Yeah.
similar age, 31, 32 years. So we all knew Shreyas Iyer, he got limelight early on in his career, but Rajat Patidar, somewhere like Surya Kumar Yadav came into the reckoning quite late. So
One point before Ganu, you express your thoughts. Um, my measure of a captain also on the field, apart from the culture, personality, and all of that, is how are you able to strategically use your bowlers? That's something I think Rohit has set an amazing framework and an example in his career. And I think Rajat seems to do that well. Obviously, you have a good bowling lineup and all of that, but the way he's able to extract um, those 20 overs with those five bowlers, right? And you still have a Romario as a sixth bowling option, but they hardly ever go to him unless and until there is a compulsion, there's an injury, or someone is doing exceptionally bad in one of the in amongst one of those five bowlers. They stick to those five bowlers. Now where you bowl whom is not really defined. Okay, you know that Bowie will give you overs at the death, Hazelwood will give you overs at the power play and all of that. But then those middle order rotation of bowlers between Suyash, Krunal, Bowie, Abhinandan first, and now your Rasik, and even last year with Dayal. So I think he's well aware of the game, the match situation. He's able to read match situations. He's able to understand which batsman is on flow, what do you need to do, the fields that you need to set. Of course, he's ably supported by the leadership group around him. But I think that's something that you can see in Rajat, both in the domestic games that he's played and led, and also with RCB, right? So I think that is one key parameter that I would continue to look at when RCB are under pressure, especially defending totals. How does he go about? And so far, he's given a good, analysis on reading the match situation, reading the game awareness, the matchups, and bringing the right bowlers at the right time. I would like to see that, to measure how he goes about in his captaincy journey. Ganesh?
Okay.
I just
Interesting.
before Ganesh, you come in, one point
Yeah.
here, like
Yeah.
on the bowling part, I would be a bit more critical here. Apart from the LSG game, all games RCB has conceded more than 200 runs. The game against RR they lost. They were defending
I
250
don't think that is a
against.
parameter to say that he's not a good bowling captain. I
I'm
don't
saying
think that is a right parameter.
I
Uh,
would differ here, but the bowling changes that he's done has not yielded RCB to contain or pick wickets. They're still conceding the runs. Like they are not
Interesting.
doing very
no, no,
great.
no. I don't think
That's
that
my
is the
point
way
of
to
view.
look at it. Yeah.
Okay, so
Anyway,
I
Ganu.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Like both of you have different views on that, but like, so what I look at in a captain is like how calm he is in terms of like taking the decisions when the things are not going your way, right? So I just think about the last year's final, when Josh Inglis was going all guns blazing, like in the final, right? And that time you could see he was still calm, thinking like not making too many changes, because you see a lot of player like making too many changes. There's no clarity, like plan changing every ball and everything. He was calm, and that is where like I thought like, okay, he is someone who will be able to lead RCB for a good period of time. So that is what my benchmark is for looking at any captain, and I think he's doing pretty well. In terms of like this year as well, I don't think they have been put in a situation where uh, like they've been put under pressure too much. Like I know like the runs are being scored by, against their bowlers and everything, but I guess that is gonna happen because the new benchmark in the T20 is like around 210, 220 now. So in that way, I still think he's been doing pretty well. He's been calm. He's been able to think and manage his bowler, because in eventually it kind of shows that how much command you have on the team, right? So I think he does have a good command and they respect him. And I think RCB has a good leader for at least 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move ahead.
Yeah. Who's
Yeah.
next?
Who's bottom? Oh, this is
Hardik.
something that I want to talk about. Oh,
Hardik,
yes.
Hardik, Hardik.
मैं
Oh
मैं
my God.
मैं स्ट्रेट ऑफ द ब्लॉक जाएगा, मैं बोलेगा I can put my money on saying Mumbai will have a mid-season captaincy change. This mid-season, Mumbai will have a captaincy change.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
That's a bold call.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But who do
I
you think is your captain number two in that case? Like,
Surya,
who would take
Surya.
over? Surya?
Yeah. See, it's not based on these last 5 games or 4 games that they've lost, right? It's just he's been given a long run. Mumbai hasn't won a title since 2020. The
2021,
management
right?
20 yeah,
2020.
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the Ambanis, as much as they invest and back the entire team, the captain and everything, they expect results, right? And when they got Hardik in the trade from GT, obviously he's proved that his credentials at GT. But again, that's what I want to focus on in captaincy. But yeah, the reason I'm making this call is that he's been given whatever he's asked for, and that was a big call in asking Rohit to step down, getting Hardik in the in the shoe of a captain. But it's not only the results, but it's the way he's managed that team, right? Last year, and then the beginning of last year also, there were all that rumors about the stars not getting together, the seniors not able to gel well, or you know and also the body language on the field, the way he was managing his resources. That's not the way you manage your senior players. If you are able to back it up with results, nobody's going to question that. But I mean, I don't think Mumbai wants to see that on ground with a captain that's been performing the way he's been performing with the body language. Forget the results, right? I don't think that's the way Mumbai Indians want to position themselves. So I can put my money's worth on saying that there will be a mid-season change in captaincy.
Uh, can I go now? Like,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a very
Go.
interesting
Yeah, yeah,
point to
please.
say. Um, like if you look at Hardik as a personality, right? He is that kind of person is like, come and look at me. I'm gonna take you ahead and everything. Like I'm gonna be leading you to a tough situation. But with the team that Mumbai has, like there are like senior players like Rohit, Bumrah, like Surya and all those players, right? Even like bowl in the bowling lineup, you have like Trent Bolt and everything. These are not the players who are gonna look at Hardik and like, okay, be in awe. They would be like let them be, and then we will do our own kind of a thing. And I don't think his style of captaincy works in the Mumbai setup. Probably it worked in the GTA setup because it was again a lot of youngsters. Like it was not of a team of superstars, the GT team back when they won, right? So I feel that that is where the mismatch is in terms of how he is as a person, in terms of and if you go to look back to like the previous captain, like Rohit, he's not the kind of person who's like, yeah, go and look at me. Like I'm not the superstar of the team, right? So I think he's more grounded and like, yeah, hand around the shoulder and everything. He's just that kind of person. I think that is where the mismatch is. That is where things are not lining up. And yesterday, even after the match, if you look at his interview and everything, he didn't know what was happening. He didn't had any answers to anything that even like whatever
Yeah,
the commentators were asking and everything. And then that is sad to see. See, he's the premier all-rounder of India, and we are lucky to have Hardik Pandya in our team in this generation and everything, right? But as a leader, is he the kind of person that Mumbai Indians require? I think that is where the mismatch is. Probably Surya again. He's not a person like, guys, look at me, how I'm gonna do the things. I think that is where the mismatch. I feel. I feel this season they are gonna let him go through. But next season definitely I do see some changes, and that is where I predict Shreyas are coming to Mumbai probably at the time of mega auction. I probably think about it, but yeah. Varun, what about you?
So I mentioned it in our first podcast. Mumbai on paper is the team to beat. Like they are very strong, but they
Mhm,
like India sometimes just switch off. That's what's
mhm,
happening here as well. And it's not very surprising. It like they are just not turning up. And the
mhm,
problem they have is not the batting, somewhere is the bowling. The bowling has completely shut off, which has put pressure on Bumrah as well. Bumrah is world class, but
mhm,
he's wicketless in this season. Like that does how often does that happen? 5 matches, no wickets for Bumrah this year. Deepak Chahar is lost. He's conceding way too much runs in the beginning. Then there's Trent Bolt who, like, you pick Trent Bolt, but Trent Bolt is also leaking runs. So their bowling is completely shut off. So coming to the point of Hardik Pandya here, like, I don't think there's that much he can do, right, with the set of bowlers the way they are bowling right now. That's where Mumbai is struggling. Like, it's not the batting. I think it's completely the bowling that is struggling. And even if, like KK mentioned, a drastic step of captains being changed here, that captain will also have to deal with the same set of players, and they. I don't think the result would be very different unless the bowling unit suddenly wakes up and starts performing incredibly well. Yeah.
I
But
probably
that's what,
differ on this, right? I probably
yeah.
sorry want to add something. I probably
Go
differ
ahead,
on
go
this
ahead.
because it's
Yeah.
the captain who kind of make the changes. Like just imagine the in the last match if it was Jasprit Bumrah who was starting the first over of the match, right? You they would not had like 21 runs, right? I guess these are the small calls that he kind of misses in terms of like what was wrong in like starting Bumrah and Hardik. Hardik swings the ball really beautifully, right?
Right.
Deepak Chahar is completely out of sorts. He's just I don't know. He just forgot to swing the ball. I've not seen him swing the ball since I guess since 3 4 years, probably after the injury, we have not seen him swing the ball. So it was a I don't think it was a right call for him. So I feel like again I go back to 2023 where Rohit Sharma. Look at the team of Mumbai Indians that year. It was one of the weakest of the team that Mumbai Indians had ever put up. But still, Rohit Sharma completely through his captaincy took Mumbai to semi-finals, right? And that was the masterclass of captaincy. How a captaincy in terms of you can look at like players like there was Namandhir, there was players like who is in the Punjab at this point or Nehal Vadera and all those players. I
Yeah.
don't think Namandhir was there, but players like Nehal Vadera kind of showed up, and it was completely Rohit Sharma's captaincy. The bowling was weak. You didn't had any proper players and everything. He kind of like through his captaincy, he made Mumbai Indians come to like semi-finals, and that is where I think the decisions, the changes, and everything is what Hardik Pandya is lacking at this point of time. Yeah, what do you think, KK?
Yeah, see, again, so like Varun, I will also agree with Ganesh over here. See, it's also you. It's like you saying, uh, you know, the driver is only a good driver when he's given a Mercedes in tip-top condition. First of all, it is a Mercedes. The team
Mm.
is a Mercedes, right? Yeah, there's no dearth of quality in the team. Even like the weakest link is an international representative. Shardul Thakur, Deepak Char, these guys are internationally accredited players, right? Now, okay, form is one thing, right? But again, Varun, that's such a contrasting opinion. Just a few minutes back, you said, RCB leaked runs and then Rajat Patidar's calls might have been the reason why they leaked runs. But
So
here we are saying
yeah,
that,
yeah, I'll
no, no,
come.
let me complete my point.
Yeah, yeah,
So
go ahead.
here we are saying that these guys are leaking runs, but, the captain is not able to do anything because the bowlers are not in form, right? So it's not me defending RCB captain over here.
Totally, totally.
My point, my point being that, while the players are out of form, and when I started with Hardik Pandya and my call around that, I said it's also more than the outcome. I'm not saying tomorrow there will be a captaincy change and Mumbai will start winning. That's a question of whether or not, right? But the question is the process, the reaction, as Ganu said. How calm a captain is, how they interact with their bowlers or with their fielders when they are dropping catches, right? You don't show frustration on the field, or you don't go and start showing that sort of a body language to someone like a Bumrah dropped a catch yesterday. We saw the interaction that Hardik did with Bumrah. Similar thing happened with Rohit last year or last year, where he was asking Rohit to move to a certain position in the field. That's not the way you captain a team, man. It's not about Rohit Sharma or Jasprit Bumrah. Even if Prabsimran Singh and Priyank Sharia would have done that, would Shreyas have reacted that in that manner? No, you don't do that, right? So my point is not on the outcome of the game, outcome of the results for Mumbai Indians, and that is the reason why I don't see Hardik as the right person. But as a captain, you lead from the front in setting the culture, the body language and gelling the team together. But here that's not happening, and that in itself is a major, major red flag. So there's no defense to Hardik Pandya, as a captain just because his team is out of form or his bowlers or in batsmen are out of form. No, I'm sorry.
Coming back to your point about RCB, like the contradictory point, what I meant to say there was RCB's bowling has not been tested, or the bat, or rather, if I put it in a different, the batting is carrying the team through, not the bowling. That's what I meant to say. That Rajat Patidar is being held here just because of the batting
No,
in
I
the
don't know.
five matches that have
Again,
happened
that's
till.
no, no,
So
no.
and
Last
coming
match
here,
also, no, no. Last match also, it was not the batting that won the game for them. It was not
except
the
for
batting
LSG,
that.
I said except for LSG,
Yeah, so we
except for the
lost the
LSG game.
RR
Yeah.
game. No. We lost the RR game. We did not have Hazelwood in the first game. Duffy came and won the match for you in the power play. The first game of RCB, Duffy came and won the match for you in the power play. It was not the batting. The batting actually only won the game, that SRH game. Duffy came and won the game for you in the power play, man. It was only the MI game that the batsman came and stepped up, scored 250, right? But okay, that's we are not talking about RCB over
Yeah,
here, but that
let's
point
agree to
is
disagree on that
inconsistent.
point.
No,
Yeah,
that
let's agree
point
to
is
disagree.
inconsistent. It's not, I'm not agreeing to disagree. That point is inconsistent. It's not a diplomatic conclusion that let's agree to disagree. If you are making a point, back up with stats which can give examples and not generic statements saying that Rajat was not able to do that. But okay, the point is Mumbai Indians. Come to Hardik Pandya. Yeah.
Ganesh Sharan mute. You're saying something.
I think, sorry, so the RCB fan in KK is like on
It's
full
coming on. Yeah.
swing.
No, it's not the
Yeah, but
fan. I'm just
like
talking.
I agree with your point. Like I
Yeah.
see, I to certain extent, like, I agree with KK's point.
I'm
But
giving examples. I'm not
Mm.
saying RCB. I'm giving examples, right? I can break down the matches for you and give you examples why I'm backing the point saying it's not the RCB batters who won you games, it's also the bowlers who won you games. Rasik, you can't expect an uncapped bowler coming and bowling 4 for 24 and say your batsman won the game. So, I mean, I'm just saying it's not RCB, right? I give that to Shreyas Iyer also, right? I give that to probably these two have been the best captains going around, and it reflects in the team, not only this season but in the previous season also. But again, Hardik Pandya, what is your call, Varun? So, what do you think?
I don't think they're going to change him mid-season for sure.
yeah,
Like they,
yeah.
they, he, like I don't think they'll do that to him. Like just my thought here.
What
But
should Hardik
that
or
will,
Mumbai do? Varun, Ganesh. I know we are dragging on
what
Hardik, but
what like
yeah.
I would stick to what Ganesh said. Like few key decisions, like maybe bring your best bowler up front. Bumrah should be bowling up front. Maybe with Hardik or someone else, or they try a Bosch somewhere in between. But like the current setup is surely not working, so they need to move certain things up in the bowling order for sure.
No, my point
And
is, yeah, cricketing decisions, yes, but non-cricketing decision. Is there a problem in the culture? Is there a problem in the
I
way
think
he
there
is
is.
leading the team?
I
That's
think
my
there
point.
is. I think the culture of Hardik Pandya in terms of how he leads the team is unfit for Mumbai Indians because it's a team of stars. Like, just imagine Hardik Pandya going to RCB and trying to lead there. And you're trying to say Virat Kohli how to go about his business and let's see, look at me and everything, right? Or probably saying to Josh Hazelwood to look at me, how I go about it and just follow me. It's not going to happen. It can very well happen if Hardik Pandya goes to Punjab because it's a team of uncapped players who are probably starting their careers and everything, right? That might happen work there, that might work there, right? But you need a lot more calmer and a non-flashy person who like Mumbai had earlier. Like if you look at Rohit Sharma was not a flashy kind of a person, and there's nothing wrong in being flashy and less being flamboyant in that way, right? It's just that is that kind of personality suits your team culture is the question that Mumbai Indians probably need to ask themselves and
But is
probably
that
take
not
a
also the job? Yeah, correct, right? But is that not the job of the coaching staff? You have
exactly,
Mahela
yeah.
Jayawardene, you have Lasit. Are they not having these conversations with
I
Hardik?
think I'm pretty sure Jayawardene would be kind of communicating this to the owners, and because they could see that, because Jayawardene is a proven customer in terms of like winning titles for MI, right? He was the director of MI, and he's just come down to become a coach again, right? So I think you can clear, he would really like, he has a good say in terms of the MI system, and it probably communicate like you, they might have given Hardik one more chance because last year they qualified for the semis, like they were number three, right? They were in the qualifier too. So probably it's not about like going against Hardik, it's just about seeing that I think there's a mismatch in terms of the fit, in terms of how Mumbai Indians runs and how Hardik Pandya is. So yeah, let's see how it goes. But I think we have established like we do have a differing opinion on Hardik Pandya. But like let's move on to the next team. I think we are already spent a lot of time on like four
Yeah,
captains.
yeah.
Probably let's look at one more captain and then see how do we go about it. Who is on number three? RR.
RR,
What do you
yeah.
guys think?
Haha, this
Riyan
is also
Parag.
interesting. Yeah.
Riyan Parag. Like who do you want to take? Varun, you have some initial thoughts on Riyan Parag?
I think he should like he picked up the captaincy from Sanju Samson when he was injured in the last season,
Yeah.
right? And surprisingly, not surprisingly, his team is doing well. So should we attribute it to his captaincy or the everything ticking in the box again? Is a question mark. I don't have a very like strong opinion about Riyan Parag right now. I still need
Okay.
I don't have a I haven't formed an opinion right now. On Riyan Parag a player, his batting, he needs to work on his batting. He's still young.
Yeah.
He needs to improve on his batting a lot. And from a captaincy perspective, I haven't read his game or seen many things of Riyan Parag, the captain, as of now.
Interesting. What about you, KK?
Yeah, I sort of agree, right? I want to see more. And here is where I would say RR and Riyan Parag have been untested. So I would like to see when their batting fails or their bowling leaks runs, how does he go about it, right? So, I mean, there's less sample size to form a conclusion on. But yeah, I also agree to his second point where, first you need to have confidence as a player, and that shows in your captaincy, right? So I think he needs to focus on that. But there were a few indications, again, a very few
Mm,
sample size, giving that last over to Sandeep Sharma, all of that. And we spoke about this, Ganu, in the previous week's
yeah.
roundup. But still, I mean, not much time to spend on him. This is a good season to see how RR cope up in the 14 game circuit and how he responds to when his team is put under pressure.
Yeah, like I think it's still a mixed. It's too early, but I think been a mixed bag. In terms of few crucial decisions, like the last over to Tushar Deshpande or bowling
Tushar
Joffre,
Deshpande.
yeah, bowling Andre Burger and Jofra Archer, like go all in when the CSK was struggling and everything, like giving 3 overs each to them. That were like a good decisions and everything, but there it's be important to see like in the last game itself. I was expecting him to like at least anchor the inning and probably take the team through. That is where a captaincy, like I know you always separate the batting with the captaincy. You separate those two, but like you need to take up additional responsibility in these situations, right? So again, like it's too early to form an opinion. The last season was not, I think, the right sample size to judge him. It would be interesting to see how he takes the campaign ahead. They have faced their first loss and they can go down the spiral at this point of time. So it will be interesting to see how they bounce back. And yeah, I think it's too early to say anything about Riyan Parag at this point of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're good to move on.
Yes, I think we are good to
SRH
move
next.
on. No, I think it
SRH, Ishan
is.
Kishan.
I know it is
Oh,
CSK.
is it?
Yeah, just give a random name.
No, okay,
CSK.
fine. We
Okay.
can go with SRH as well. Like, I'm fine with it. Let's go with SRH. Yeah.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I can go. So okay, Ishan Kishan is an interesting story. I think he stumbled upon captaincy of SRH, and I think you talk about being right place at the right time, right? Winning the Syed Mustaq Ali for Jharkhand, being a leading run scorer, getting into India team, high on confidence, scoring those runs and high on confidence, and then you get the captaincy, right? So for me, think they have a weakest bowling lineup in the in this entire team in the entire tournament, right? And from that as well, he has been trying his best in terms of making the changes. I really liked how like he brought in. He's trying to use the first 6 overs with the spinners and trying to choke the opposition and everything. He's thinking. So you can clearly see that he's
Mm.
trying to put in some thought in terms of how he can make the best of the resources. You know, like Harshal Patel and Jaidev Unadkat are kind of like 10 to 20 overs bowler, right? Not at the starting hour. And they don't have any bowlers who can bowl in the front until till the last match. They got like two like diamonds that they got like in the last match. But I can see that he's trying to think in terms of how he's trying to use Shivang Kumar, how he's using Harsh Dubey and everything, right? It's interesting to see. And if they had a good team, it would be really interesting to see how Ishan Kishan thinks and everything. I think he's a thinking captain. And in the last match, he said one interesting thing in the post match. He said like he did not take up the wicket keeping gloves because he felt that there was a miscommunication that was happening between when he was keeping and the bowler. So he decided to give that up, and probably going ahead, he will be acting just as a fielder so that he can have better communication with the bowler. So this would be interesting to see. But I think to summarize, he is a thinking captain who is like thinking to get the best out of what he has. So I'm impressed so far. And who
Yeah,
wants to go
yeah,
next?
I kind of agree with you. Like he couldn't have gotten this at a better point of time in his career. Like he's high
Yeah.
on confidence. After the Syed Mushtaq Ali, he got his place back in the national side. Now he's also scoring runs in the IPL, so couldn't have like leading the side with confidence, and this couldn't have been a better picture. Like, but I do believe once Pat Cummins is fit and he comes back, he will take over. But SRH might have found a future captain. Like,
Yes,
if
I do
yeah,
think.
I think he's a potential. He's leading from the front. He's doing quite well, and it's reflecting in his body language as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Mm.
Praful Hinge and Saqib Hassan, right? Praful Hinge and Saqib Hassan. I think that's too early to comment. Whether it was a one match wonder or how they perform consistently. And the weakest bowling lineup is a true statement here. SRH are totally dependent on their batting, and it will be very interesting in the coming games to see how he plays up with these bowlers that they have. Right now,
Next
kudos to him. Like he's doing quite well with the limited resources that he's having.
next match they have with CSK, so it will be really interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Kiki, what's your thought?
No, yeah, I agree with both of you, right? So there's immense respect that I have for him, the journey that he's had, both as a player and as a captain. And as you guys said, and Ganu, you said, right, the thinking ability that he has. So I am very interested to see how he goes about. SRH is the work in progress team, right? So you
Hmm.
cannot expect them to contend for title both in this season as well as the next because I mean, where are the bowlers in the market also when you go
Yeah.
look for them, right? So this cycle is going to be like a work in progress cycle, groom the team, set it for a long term future and stuff. And I think that's what it's going to be. As Varun said, once Cummins is back, he'll pick up the captaincy. But eventually, I think in the next cycle, when the mega auction comes about, Ishan Kishan is going to be retained as your
Yeah.
full time captain, right? So I'm excited again with these young captains. I also see, although Shreyas and Rajat, I won't consider them as young, but yeah, Ishan is one of the most respected captains going around in the Indian domestic and the young circuit right now. If he continues to do well, he can well be in the reckoning for the Team India captaincy with Iyer and Gill also. I see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see.
Like just I
One,
just want to
one,
say
one
add
more
one
thing.
more point.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah. I would not be surprised if Ishan Kishan continues to lead even Pat Cummins comes, right? Because what I look at is the next year, right? Pat Cummins has a Border Gavaskar trophy prior to the IPL, and I guess if I'm not wrong, Ashes. The after that, the England, the
And
tour
the
to
World
England,
Cup. And the World
and a
Cup as well.
World Cup
Yeah.
after that, right?
Yeah.
I might not be surprised if Pat Cummins thinks of skipping the IPL, right? And that is where like it would be a good opportunity for Ishan Kishan to get this complete run. And
Yeah.
again, Pat Cummins would be easing up into his like workload, so he might come as an impact sub, and Ishan Kishan might continue to lead as well, right? So I don't know what the communication would be with Ishan Kishan, but I would be more than happy to see Ishan Kishan continue and Pat Cummins just being as a support system. but it would be interesting to see. And it is Dan Vittori's call. It would be he's a good pal with Pat Cummins. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
One like one more point I wanted to state on is the timing of his captaincy is Ishan Kishan before the dip in form when he scored the double-handed in ODIs. He
Yeah.
used to go ahead with playing some rash shots. He was just a carefree player at that point of time. And now when he respects the position in his team much more, I feel, once he's come back. So the timing couldn't have been better for him to be captain at this point with that maturity. So like
But
it's a
that's not
good.
served to him only, right? He's worked on
I'm
that
just
as
talking
well.
about his
Yeah.
journey here, like his
Correct,
journey
correct.
from
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the timing of him being captain. So this
Yeah.
Mhm.
responsibility at an earlier stage for him wouldn't have like ended up so well. Maybe
Maybe.
like
Yeah.
this is the timing that is good for him. Like the stage at the career in where he is right now.
Yeah, really happy
Yeah.
for him. Like really happy. Feels good to see such like comeback stories and having and good things are happening with him. Really
Yeah.
Yes.
happy for him. Yeah.
Move on.
Okay. Okay.
So we are
So
into the mid tables now, is it? CSK, GT,
yes,
and DC.
DC,
Yeah.
and we are
So
missing some other
DC,
team.
no, I don't think so. CSK,
We talked
GT,
about six
DC.
captain. We spoke about six captains so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about
LSG.
six
We're
Anyway,
captain.
missing we're missing
Yeah,
LSG.
LSG.
Rishabh Pant. We're missing
Yeah.
Rishabh Pant. Yeah, man. Okay, so who do you want to take
Who's the
it? Take it and
captain
take
there?
up.
Is it Goenka or Pant anyway? Sorry. Uh,
That's a good point. That's a good point. So let's take up DC, okay, and look at Akshay Patel, okay. What do you guys feel? Like, I have a mixed opinion about him. Like, I don't see, like, if I put my point, I don't see him being like a captain who wants to lead. I like he feels like a reluctant captain, like similar to KL Rahul, right? Who feels like burdened when the captaincy comes to him. He might be good thinker in terms of like how to go about the game. He might be good on strategy and everything. But is he the captain you want to like? Is he like the? I don't know. I'm short of word, but it looks like a similar to KL Rahul, who's like a reluctant captain. So yeah, what do you guys feel?
I feel he's always been a floating under the radar player, right? He's never been in that kind of limelight, and this is kind of testing him. But I think he's not doing bad also. Like the right now for Delhi, with KL Rahul not being the captain, like second choice. You have any better second choice other than Akshat Patel? Yeah?
No, not exactly.
Mhm.
Agreed on that, but they don't have any other choice. But like I don't think they're even looking for a captain. They were not even looking for captains that way. They were fixated on like Akshay Patel from the time they retained him. Okay, but yeah, because last season they had Duplessis, who was a proven captain, right? So
Right.
they could have gone ahead to that direction as well, right? And they stuck with Akshay Patel. And yeah, I don't know, but I just feel from his like body language and everything, he doesn't come across someone who is like, yeah, guys, let's go ahead and do it, or someone who is like very calm and everything. Like, I don't know whether he's like a Virat Kohli type of captain or a Dhoni or Rohit Sharma type of captain. I feel he's like in between, like a KL Rahul, who is little unsure. So that's what I feel.
Hmm.
yeah, I agree. I mean, आइडेंटिटी नहीं है यार मतलब कुछ तो दिखाओ कि तुम what sort of a character you are, how what is the impression you have on the team. He's very, see, one thing is he's very approachable and he gives space
Yeah.
to the players and all of that. That's good,
Yes.
but that's not enough for a captain. You have to
Yeah.
have your own thoughts. You have to have a common goal. And as you said, right, Ganesh, while the approaches to to captaincy in achieving that goal could be different, like a Kohli, Dhoni,
Mm.
and other captains who fall between these two extreme characters. But you're unable to place Akshar Patel in that line of captaincy. Show me some identity. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That is what I can't see him like I don't see a proper personality. Like, yeah, this is his captaincy. Like, this kind of aggression is what it shows him, or this kind of calmness is what is Akshar Patel. So that is where I'm a little confused, but not being really harsh on him. It's just like what I've observed in the
Mm.
last two seasons and everything. Yeah. So what do you think,
Yeah,
Varun?
No, like I said, that's his personality. Like even both of you, I agree. It's his personality, right? He's not. that out of the he's not very expressive. He's just doing his job. He's just maybe that's not the right way to lead a team, but yeah, it's going well for them right now. So I wouldn't be too critical with Akshar Patel.
Okay.
Last year they ended up losing a lot streak of matches after initially beginning well, but
Yeah.
let's see how that goes this year.
Interesting. Just one point I want to draw. Like we talked about personality and the captaincy, right? I think we spoke about like in multiple times. I think like what I can understand is like the personality of a person plays a very important thing in terms of how is it the right person for is it the right person for being a captain, right? Like if I go back, I know I'm going to Sachin, but I think his personality was not suited for captaincy. I think that is where there are a lot of people who might be really good players, who might be really approachable players, but are they suitable for captaincy? Like we won't say that for Shreyas Iyer. He looks like a captain. He looks still being approachable, but yeah, he's leading. But we can't say that for Akshar Patel. So that's what I think at this point of time. But yeah, we can talk about other players, or you guys have any other points on Akshar Patel?
No, it's not on Akshar Patel, but generic, as you said, right? So it's a skill. Captaincy is an additional skill to a player. Like you can be a
Yeah,
good batsman, you can be a good bowler, a spinner, fast bowler, all those, wicket
yeah,
keeper, all of that. But captaincy in itself is man management. It's a skill. So as you said, for some it comes along with a player that you are, but yes, and for some they build it up. But yeah, I mean, I don't see that in Aksar. He's a nice person. He has
yeah,
a lot of, understanding of the game. But do you have the man management to lead a team of 15 players? Yeah,
yes,
uh,
And
opinions out there.
he's also happy playing second fiddle, like not in Delhi per se, but he's also the vice captain for India in the
yeah,
T20 setup. So he's happy playing second fiddle and he doesn't want to be that expressive, just from a personality point of view. Or
yeah. But
Sense of
leading
yeah,
from the front,
expression, see,
leading
sense
from
of
the front
expression.
kind of guy. Yeah.
No, no. See, sense of expression may not be mandatory for a captain. Again, like you have, Dhoni was not expressive, right? But he was a very successful captain. So, sense of expression I may differ on, but show something which defines this is the way Akshar Patel leads. It doesn't have to be expressive, but what is it, right? That is what I'm trying to understand. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
I guess it would be interesting to we can speak about this after the season ends and talk about
Yeah.
how we see about Akshay Patel. And he might prove us all wrong. Like me and both KK, I think Varun is still in his favor. Me
I'm
and we can
neutral right now. I don't have
yeah,
an
yeah.
opinion on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so he can prove both of us wrong and probably take the DC to championship, and we will be more than happy for him. But at this point of time, we don't have, I think, any proper personality to attach to him. Okay, so I think we should move ahead. And what should we take up next? Two CSK fans waiting for talk about Ruturaj Gaikwad.
Yeah,
Okay,
we can. Yeah.
yeah, Varun, I
Good.
think you should go first.
Sorry, you
Varun
want
is
me to
there.
go first? Okay,
I
okay. Yeah, and
yeah, yeah.
there was a connection broke. Sorry.
Okay.
Ruturaj Gaikwad, in, in- like we spoke about this in the first episode as well. With the way CSK going, would he be given a long shot or would he be changed mid-season? So, any like I don't know. Have you made any change in opinion after the first five matches with Ruturaj Gaikwad?
I feel he's burdened at this point of time. I don't know why. I still don't know whether, like, I don't know what is the talk that is going in the dressing room. Is it the is it the Dhoni's team that is transitioning to Ruturaj team, or it's a Ruturaj team at this point? I don't know, like, how the talks are in and where he is at this at his headspace. He like if you look at like the CSK podcast that they release, right? He says that like Dhoni from the day onwards, like he gave up the captaincy. He said like it's your team, go ahead and lead it, right? But being under the shadow of Dhoni, who has like done a lot of things for the franchise, it might be little difficult, right? Virat did it when still Dhoni was playing, but not everybody is Virat, right? So I don't know where Ruturaj is, because even in the last match, right, he dropped a simple simple catch,
Catch.
right? It's
Yeah.
not Ruturaj. He is known for fielding, right? And I think, and also his batting. I don't know. It's either because he's out of form that is reflecting in his like overall personality, or is it the captaincy burden, right? And because we also haven't like we just have seen one season of him like leading the entire season. Okay, so it's pretty early. I just hope that like he comes good. He looks like a good, calm person and everything, who is again a very good thinker. But is he burdened? If his burden has not able to perform like batting, because CSK need his batting as well, right? And yeah, so I'm a little confused in terms of probably this season and probably the next season is what CSK will give him, and probably then take a call. And I just hope he comes good. It's the CSK fan in me saying that okay, yeah, he comes good.
There is a hope. He has a lot of promise. Like there's something definitely maybe
Yeah,
confident. It's a confidence issue. It's a burden issue. He's not able to live up to the legacy. Sanju
yeah,
Samson is a competitor for him. So there are a lot of things going on. But
yeah.
purely again from a resources point of view, is he managing the team well?
Hmm.
Uh, he has Khalil Ahmed. He has Anshul Kamboj. From a
Not
bowling
anymore,
point
by
of
the way.
view,
Not
right?
anymore. Khalil Ahmed is injured out of IPL.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, sorry, I didn't know about that. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
so again, adding to his goals here.
yeah, yeah.
Injury concerns, Dhoni not available, Devil Blue is initially not available in the first two matches. So now Khalil Ahmed out. So it's not easy with him
Yeah,
being out of form as well. But yeah, hopeful that he does well. Let's see. The CSK fan in me also
it's hopeful.
is hopeful. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think, Ike? I think you would be the most neutral person or probably the hated person, you, if I would have to put it that way.
No, see,
What
I'm
do
not
you...
hatred. No, no, there's no hatred.
Yeah,
There's absolutely no hatred. But as I said, right, as of now, and you guys make valid points, right? So I'll just say from a team standpoint, it is more harm than good. I have said this a couple of times, but I think somewhere with sorry, with Ganu, as you said, right, with Dhoni, there's always that $1 million question: when do you start the transition? They tried it with Jadeja, it didn't work out. Dhoni had to take it back. So it's a very difficult equation. Let me put that context before
yeah.
I may come across as offensive to the team or the player. I'm not. Let me be very transparent. It's very difficult with that context. I think CSK have not gotten the transition correct, right? So they've not gotten the transition correct. At least I'm happy that they're not reactive to it and they're giving him the opportunities
Long
and
ball.
chances. He deserves that, and I also agree that he will he will continue to be the captain for this year and the next year. So that is the least that the franchise can do.
Hmm.
Um, that is the least that they can do. But yeah, again, it's become a season of what ifs again, right? Because of the injuries and stuff. But they did not even plan well in the auction. Come on, let's be very honest. This is not the
Hmm.
ideal team, I would say. They did make improvements to the last year's team. They got rid of all those middle order players who did not play T20 the way they were supposed to play. So they did get a few exciting talents in mid-season last year and also this year. So there has been improvement to the team, and you need to give Ruturaj the time to see how he manages with that team. But again, you unfortunately are stuck with injuries. So what conclusion do you make out of it, right? But yeah, the
Yeah.
best thing that he can do for himself, again, unfortunate to say, but leave the hopes of winning the title this year, but uh, get yourself back in form. I think that itself will give him a lot of confidence and it will show on his captaincy, show on his decision that he takes on the field as a captain. I think they've started doing those things right. Ruturaj was always assessed as someone who doesn't believe in spin a lot, but now they've started trusting Akil Hussain, Noor consistently,
Hmm.
and they I looks like they've started getting the combination right. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, Khalil gets injured. So because
Yeah,
Khalil was
that is.
giving you those good overs in the
Do you
power play,
think
right?
it's an indicator that Dhoni like CSK team did not have place for Dhoni, to be honest. At this point of time, if you look at the last two matches, now with Khalil
They should
gone,
not go back to Dhoni. They should not go
I
back to Dhoni. It's not about
to be
Dhoni or
honest,
the. Yeah,
I am a huge Dhoni fan. I'm like I still feel that Dhoni should not
yeah.
come. Because like for me the CSK team is more important. You never know. This Khalil opening probably may would make way because they had like seven bowlers with Shivam Dube also being considered. So probably they might because they can't stop Sarfaraz. He's playing superbly. He's the one probably the good in the middle order if I have to say. Yeah, I don't want Dhoni to come back, but again,
No,
never
no,
know.
put Rituraj. Yeah, exactly. You see, put Rituraj in a position where you make him think a Dhoni less CSK because that's the future. But
Correct,
until and unless you put him in that position and make him think and adapt to it, you're not giving him the fair opportunity also. So that
Yeah.
correct,
weight and that legacy of Dhoni should not pull the team down. He's given
correct.
the franchise the golden years that they've had. But to go ahead in the future, see, I have no hatred, man. Emotionally, yeah, I always want to see RCB from CSK. That's a different opinion. But overall, for the IPL, I have always told you guys, right? A good CSK makes for a good IPL. And I would
Yeah,
want to see how he goes about. But a Dhoni less CSK is what is best for CSK. I'm sorry.
One
But
one point
yeah.
one point I'd like to bring up here. What would you say on retiring Ayush Natriya when he was playing well? Like, was it a good call, a bad call? And
I
Shivam
think
Dube
it
came in place of him,
was.
and he didn't like fire right from the game.
I think it was like a 50-50 call, to be honest. Because they thought like Shivam Dube might score a lot more runs and everything. Uh, but yeah, I think
Yeah, yeah.
these calls are
I
little
felt it was a bit
controversial.
unfair because a well settled player, like although a couple of maybe 5 balls, he
Exactly.
was not. He was well settled. He knew the conditions. Like his strike rate was not poor. He was 59 of 36, 37 balls maybe when he was retired.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Agreed.
like
Agreed.
very harsh call. That one decision I would say I don't know maybe team management or Rudraj Gaikwad,
Team
but
management would have. Yeah.
was a pretty unfair decision just from Ayush
Yeah,
Matri's perspective.
because you usually retire those people who are scoring it like 110 strike rate and
Right.
everything, have like
Yeah.
consumed a lot of balls and everything. He was going pretty well. But I think they would have thought like Shivam Dube in the last few overs would probably could score at like a strike rate of like 250, 300 or something, just hit two, three sixes and bring them a good score, which uh, like that might have been a thought. But yeah, I think it did not go well as planned as what they thought. But yeah, again, it's gonna be these kind of calls will be taken, I think, more frequently in the IPL as they go ahead. I heard that
Yes.
Virat Kohli was gonna be called out, retired out, unless just before he got out. So yeah, so that would have been a big story, but luckily he got out. But yeah, let's. Any other thoughts, or should we move
KK
ahead to
has
the
a
next
point, I
cap?
think. KK has a
Yeah,
point.
actually,
Okay.
I'm going to back that decision, right? And not that decision, but see, we are talking about giving opportunities to Rituraj, giving him the long rope, trying stuff out with him. So I think you should not judge on micro factors. Some will work
Mm,
out, some may not. But you should actually back that he has the courage to make. If he start being critical of anything and everything that he does, poor guy will not have the confidence to think on his own. So had a Dhoni done it, we would have said there might be some rationale to what he's done. So we are not going to speak much about it, right? So
mm.
give him that opportunity is what I would say, right? Let him make mistakes. He's going to learn only when he's going to make mistakes, and if it comes out, he's going to build on that confidence, right? So those are all learnings. Those are all when you are agreeing that the team is in a transition phase and in a WIP phase. Uh, Allow the captain to make calls which are not, which are not normal, because that means that he's thinking. That means that
Fair
Yeah,
he's
point.
willing to
Yeah.
fair.
experiment and give him the
Fair.
room to do that. Yeah.
Maybe if the decision like Shivam to be like Ganesh said would have scored at a strike rate of 250, 300, we would have been talking differently. Yeah? But
Yeah.
it was a like I don't think this has happened before, so there's a point to bring that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, move ahead. We are
Okay,
almost
Shubman
we
Gill,
1.5 hours. So yeah, let's.
Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant.
Rishabh
the
Pant
two
is easy. So can we pick Rishabh Pant?
Okay, fair. Let's go.
I think over. I feel the best of Rishabh Pant is past him, and he needs to like he doesn't deserve the captaincy for this. He's being blunt, very blunt here right now. The team needs to move on from Rishabh Pant.
Okay, interesting. What I think is the first question that comes to my mind is Rishabh Pant a T20 player? Okay,
Mm.
then we can talk about his captaincy because
Yeah.
if he is not a T20 player, right, the captaincy is gonna put an extra burden on him, right? If we go back to the time when he scored scored at like second of 180 or something, it was like 2017, 2018, some for
Delhi,
DC
yeah,
Delhi Daredevils, right? That was like young Pant who was like probably had was not worrying about it, but at this point of time, he doesn't look a T20 player. Even in the match, if you look at when he scored like 60 or something against SRH, right, 68 something, it was the anchor inning, right? I still feel he's that kind of person who needs like 10, 15 balls before he can start going, right? But the T20 game has moved a lot ahead. Even if you make him even open as well, right? He still needs that 10 balls, right? He's not a player who can go from the first ball as well. I think that is where he's struggling because that is impacting him his captaincy. I don't think he's a bad captain, but if you don't feel comfortable being the T20 player, right? I think it's gonna impact your captaincy as well. So I think that is where the big mismatch is. I don't think he's a T20 player first, and the captaincy is like very far ahead for him. What do you guys think?
no, I like him. I have no opinion on him. Like I think he's past. He's like playing at a like at a high level. And he needs to take
Oh,
some time off, go back to the domestic circuit, play well there, and then come back. That's my view on Pant right now.
okay, interesting. What about you, KK?
Yeah, I think reputation preceded record when LSG invested in him. They needed a face value for the team and they were looking to build a brand. Goenka comes not from a cricketing or a sport fraternity, but like a proper businessman. So he thought,
Mm,
with Pant, you can milk that. Nothing wrong, but that backfired big time and they lost. Again, I would say you would want another captain, but who is it, right? So because Puran is out of form, there's no face value in the team who can take the team forward. So the best you can do is provide him support and work with him closely and see what best can be done until the next mega auction, and then release him and go look for captains around. But Pant
yeah.
personally, I don't know if he's past his best. What Varun
Mm,
is saying, but he's certainly not at his best, right? So, and Ganu, I agree to your point, right? You need to actually look at Rishabh Pant's career and say whether he's a T20 player. Like how some players like Iyer and Hardik have chosen not to play the test format and focused on being a limited overs player. Can Pant be looked at the other way around? And he's only the
yeah.
person who can answer that question for himself,
Yeah.
right? So, you can still see the best of Pant if utilized well, but Pant needs to take that call himself. But right now, it's
And
very unfortunate what's happening.
and that too soon, man. Like I think he has a good career in test.
Exactly.
This should not this
India needs
T20.
Pant, the test player, given where
Yeah,
India is in the
yeah,
test
exactly.
format, but
Then
not in this frame of mind. I don't
yeah,
want his
exactly.
confidence to be impacted and spoil his test career as well. But it needs to happen soon, as you said, and that realization needs to come from within.
Yeah, I think he should
Yeah.
have like thought
Nothing
about
against
it.
him. Like Ishan Kishan also faced like he completed unrelated cases, but Ishan Kishan faced a form slump. He went back to domestic circuit, played well. So
Yeah.
could be a similar story coming up. But
Yeah.
right now, I think he needs to take a break.
I think
Yeah.
he does have an ample amount of time to be honest. Like he just plays test. He is not there in the ODI setup unless somebody is injured or not. He's not in a T20 setup and everything. And to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
he's been plugged with injuries for the last 3 4 years. Any time you see, he's just making comeback to the competitive cricket right now, right? He was injured since that England tour and everything. So I think like he's also going through some bad times, to be honest. Like, yeah, you don't know. I just
I
hope
want to
that,
put money on the character that he is, man. He's a lovely guy. What a
yeah,
journey, what a personal life story. And I really like such characters. And yeah, it just needs to be channelized. He has a lot of good support around him, not within LSG. I'm just saying the cricketing fraternity. And I think he will come good in the test setup. Yeah, as you
yeah,
guys said, just take some
cricket
time out.
needs Pant. Cricket needs
Cricket
Pant
needs fun.
and
Yeah,
Pant.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, he comes back good. Okay, so
The Indian
should we move out?
captain, the
Indian
GT
captain. So
captain. Yeah.
GT captain, Indian captain, whatever we're gonna call him. What do you guys think? Shubman Gill, man. Okay, interesting. Who's
Go
gonna go
start.
first?
Go on,
Go
Varun,
ahead.
go
Go ahead.
on.
Ganesh,
Nahi,
Ganesh, you can go.
Okay, so if I want to talk about Shubman Gill, I am a little confused in terms of how do I put him? Like I think it's too early for him to get the captaincy. That is what I felt like. Be it India captaincy or like GT captaincy, I do get it. Like you can take it, but I think he has not proven himself as a captain. Last season, I get it. He took the team to like the top four, completely through his batting. The top three dominated and everything. But like I haven't seen him like flourish in terms of making the strategic calls. Probably, I think he will learn as he go ahead. It's too early in his career at this point of time. But I felt that he needs to be given some more time before I can GT captaincy. Sorry, I'm just getting diverted because the he's also an India captain at this point of time. But like GT captaincy, I still think he needs to prove himself. The last season was good, dominated by the batting, but this season it has been middling. Okay, so it would be interesting to see how this season progresses because there will be some tough matches. He's there in the middle at this point of time. I don't have like proper opinion in terms of is he strategically strong, is he thinking, like how we talked about Ishan Kishan, right? He's thinking, right? I can't say that about Shubman Gill. Probably I might have missed about few things, but it would be interesting to see how this season goes. What do you guys think?
I think he's learning, like, but there are a lot of bold decisions that he's making in backing his bowlers. I won't say many rash decisions. I think Ashok Sharma is playing this season, right? Ashok
Hmm.
Sharma, the young bowler. So he's Gill. He's backing whoever is going. Like he's backing Prasidh Krishna, Ashok Sharma. So he's backing his bowlers. He makes calm decisions. He's not very brash. He's not changing things a lot. He's sticking to his combinations. So, and he's still being tested, I would say. Like you put the point, if he's ready for captaincy or no, even for the India setup. He's new, and I think he's evolving, only getting better. Gill, the batsman, there was never a doubt about his credibility
Hmm.
or capability.
Hmm.
He's continuing to do well, and he's doing well in this season as well. So overall picture, I think it's an unfurnished or still under progress uh, captain right now. And I personally like Gill a lot. So I really believe that he will be one of India's finest leaders.
Interesting. That's a strong words to put, man, at this point of
Yeah,
time. What do you think, KK?
Gill as an India leader and Gill as a GT leader are two separate conversations. Now, since we
Yeah.
are talking about just the IPL captain, I don't want to go into Gill as an India leader and his contenders and all of that. I'll keep that for a later date. But Gill as a GT person, there's not enough to say he's not done well, no? He's won a tournament, man. Come on. He's won.
No, where did
no,
he gone?
Oh,
not won
sorry,
any
that's
tournament.
Hardik. Sorry, that's Hardik.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
But there's not enough to say that he's not done well. So that's where I would want to start off with, right? So I'm not going to say that um, we spoke about Aksar not having an identity. Gill has an identity. I'll give him that. And he has the potential to build that culture, build that identity around the team and carry the players along. He's managed players like Josh Butler, David Miller, not right now, but in the previous season,
Yeah.
very well, very well. He's given them the space, given them the respect, but also commanded leadership and authority without coming across too much on your face or So that is very good about him. That's a very rare quality to have. And what else? What else? Yeah, I mean, he's never, as a batsman, he's never faced a string of low scores or low form. So again, that reflects in your captaincy, which says that he's
Mm,
very uh, convicted about his game. He is very confident about his game. So there's a lot of upward potential. I told in the previous week's podcast also that GT is the team to look out, and
mm,
they've shown. I think they've just had one game. I think today is the second game of the week for
yeah,
them.
yeah,
So I really still feel that because Punjab, RCB, and RR are in a different tangent right now. You are
yeah.
looking at GT in the middle layer team, but I still feel that there's a lot of potential for GT this season, and that will eventually form my opinion around his captaincy. But as of now, I think he's where he needs to be. He deserves the captaincy at GT. India call
Mm,
is a very different thing. We'll discuss that
yeah.
later.
Again, yeah.
But
Correct.
but yeah, he's doing justice to his job, man.
Fair, fair.
Yeah.
I think yeah, we can cut him some slack in terms of like his performance in GT. Yeah, India captaincy is a different call, as KK rightly said. But yeah, I think do we have anything to add in terms of the players? Anything that you want to add?
Captains or
No,
players?
I No, I think so. The captain, sorry. I think that Gill was the last captain, right? We
Right, right.
wanted to
yeah, yeah,
speak.
Any
yeah,
teams to
yeah.
watch
I
out for
think
this week? Your top pick.
Uh, I would want to see how DC goes. Because they are in the middle, and if they win some good matches, they should either they can go up from now or they can probably go down the pile, like go bottom. So it would be interesting to see how DC goes about it.
Interesting. I think pretty well stacked right now the table. If you see from 4 to 8, 8 or 9, I think everyone is
Mm,
on 4 points. Or 4 or 2,
mm,
4 to 8. I think the mid
mm,
table is pretty crowded. But I'm very
mm,
interested to see how SRH goes ahead. Like SRH
mm.
and like I would pick one team. SRH is somewhere in between, and how they go up or down, and how RCB also plays. Like if they continue to play the brand of cricket they're playing, or whether they falter. That would be
Interesting,
interesting to see.
interesting, interesting. What about you,
yeah. For
KK?
me, no, I'll continue with uh, wanting to see how GT goes,
Mm,
and maybe how RR go. Can Suryavanshi be that consistent at the top? And if not, can their middle order continue to win games for them? So RR and GT.
got it. Great.
Yeah. Anyway, this was
Perfect. I think
long. This got
this was
intense.
long,
I
but it
want
was
this
a
kind of this kind of discussions. It's coming from a place where we are passionate about what we speak. So
Exactly.
totally,
yeah, it
totally.
was
Yeah.
yeah, it was really good.
I think it sets a good context for us to go into the next week also where we talk. I think it would be interesting. We reach mid-season, I think, where everyone would have played 7 to 8 games when we speak next time. So that would be
Correct.
ideal to see where the tournament is going. Let's catch up.
Yeah, actually, we should. So I don't know if the teams would have reached 8 games by next week, but whenever that
No, it
happens,
will
we
be
should do
seven.
Yeah,
like a.
seven to
It's
eight. Yes,
gonna
7 to 8.
7 matches by 24th of April is where the midpoint of the IPL is.
So that I think that weekend we should do like a mid season recap
Season.
and
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. It's good. And maybe towards the end of the season also retouched upon these captains and how they've fared.
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah.
These are world class players, man, and we should
No
change
doubt.
our perception. We should change our perception if they do show that on field, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Anyway, thank you guys. This has been really exciting. Looking
Yes.
forward to next week.
Okay. Great. See
Thanks,
you guys.
guys.
See
Okay.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.